Hello, Just Too Good here, and I owe you guys. Last week I was sick, so I wasn't able to do a Throwback Thursday. So I want to do a Star Wars one because it's The Last Jedi, so might as well make it up right now. And this is a 2005 TIE Fighter with a light-up Darth Vader, which you could barely see it, but it still lights up just a little bit when you click that head, and it has a little try-me here. I'm going to unbox this bad boy. Unfortunately, the battery is not replaceable, so that's the most lit it will get. And this retailed for $20 back in the day. And the box for this one's pretty pristine, so this is going to be a hard one to open. Maybe I should use my box cutter. No, I ripped it. Alright, I didn't totally kill the box, but it's a little bit damaged. But we have our pieces right here, our instructions and advertisement, and our light-up minifigure. Here is the set all built up. Now let's take a look at the minifigures. So here is that light up Darth Vader figure. As I showed, if you look super close when I press the button, there's like a little glimmer, just a little tiny glimmer, but it doesn't really work anymore, and it's a non-replaceable battery, unfortunately. Now these are interesting. Let's take a closer look at this guy. You can see that his arm is just literally part of the lightsaber, so you can't move his arm, you can't remove this at all, you can only move it up and down, you can't move it to the side. That's a little bit annoying, but that's just how that light worked. Also, this whole body, even with the legs, you can't take it apart except for this helmet right here. So if you want to, nope, nothing. So that cape is always stuck there. Thankfully, this one's still in good condition. Well, I guess that's the joy of getting it new. But yeah, I had a few of these when I was younger. I think I still have them. I think Anakin and Obi-Wan, because I got the lightsaber duel or whatever, the Duel of Fates, and I never really liked them because I was like, you know, I like customizing figures, as in like making my new figures, and I can't take these apart. It's kind of a waste. At least they do have some printing underneath the head, though, as I showed. Here is the TIE Pilot. This guy only came in 2 sets, including this one, so he's a little bit harder to get, and the other one was like the TIE Fighter collection, so that's not the most common set. I like the printing on the mask, though it is a little bit weird that he doesn't have any other printing besides these logos up there. Underneath, he does have a reddish-brown head with no printing as well. So, you know, TIE Fighters are so different nowadays in LEGO form than they were back here, even in 2005, though that was still 12 years ago, which is crazy. The design of this is still simplistic, but I think this captures a TIE Fighter essence super well. Like, you'll look at this and be like, oh yeah, that's a TIE Fighter. Like, it doesn't look crappy or anything like that. It's just a lot more simple. Now, I like how they used, for the little wings right here, I guess you could say, it's a very symmetric build. It's repetitive, but it's not annoying. Like, it's super easy to build this. It took like, I don't know, 30 pieces at most. And that was something like with Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter, the one that came out whenever, I think it was like in September. It was so annoying building the wings on both sides. And that's something that comes when you have more detail. When it's more simple like this, it's actually a really fun build. It's like, oh cool, you know, I see it coming together. It's nothing annoying. They do have a printed piece right here, and I like how they use these little vent pieces. It makes it look a little bit more blockier, but it works well. And yeah, this side right here has the same type of design, so there's nothing new there. The middle part is also interesting. This center cockpit, which is a nice printed piece, you could open easily, which reveals a little space for a minifigure. We have the pilot in there, as well as a 1x2 printed tile. Pretty common for these older Star Wars sets. Now, since this is an older Star Wars set, this part right here and this part up here always falls off. Like, this whole center cockpit falls off. That's because this part is not restrained, and that's a little bit annoying, but you know, they've improved that over time. And we also have a dish up here, which is printed, and a dish at the back right here, which has no printing, but it doesn't really need any printing. And before I finish off with the build, I just have to show these wings right here easily fall off. Like, you can see they're falling off every time I move it, and bam. You know, with time, they improved that, thankfully, but that was quite annoying back then. But that's it for the build of this set. Now let's take a look at the box and the final verdict. So the box is identical on both sides. It's just that this one right here is a sideways look. And you can see it says Original Trilogy Edition, which I didn't know before. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool how they, you know, note that this is from the original trilogy. They wouldn't do that nowadays. They never mention which movie each set's from, even though it might be quite obvious for the big fans. You can see the little play features up top. And on the side right here, they have the minifigures, which is a practice. So the instructions were actually pretty short. I was quite amazed. You have an ad for another 2005 set. The original win, you can see right there, it says win these sets right here. The start of the meme with the Lego Star Wars video game, the original one, which I did have, and I think I still have it for GameCube. I think that's it, man. I wanted to see the alternate builds, but I guess they don't have any alternate builds here. Oh, and this ad right here just tells you to join the Lego magazine for free, and those are some interesting sets. I guess those were at Lego Creator. So understandably, Lego has changed throughout the years. This TIE Fighter is so much simpler than one you would find nowadays, but I don't think simpler means it's crappier, because its design is just as recognizable, and I think it's very well made in terms of what you look at. Now, what you play with, the wings do fall apart easily, and there are other problems with the cockpit where it falls off as well. That is quite annoying, and that's something that they thankfully have improved over time. So we've gotten more complex with the builds, more stable with the builds, and a set like this, of a vehicle this size, would never be the price it was back then, $20 to $40. Now, this retails for like $70, $80 in terms of the recent TIE Fighters released. But, you know, this harkens back to a simpler time. Even with Light Up Vader, you can see they were trying something new. I don't think it necessarily worked. It's sad that you can never replace the batteries, and that we'll never see it as lit as it was back then. Even this one right here barely had any light left, but it was cool to see that it still had just a little tiny bit left. So that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this impromptu Throwback Thursday, even though it's not Thursday at all. Now we'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.